Hello, it's Icy. I'm back with a review of the hardware that I have unboxed previously. It's been a while since I actually unboxed it. The recordings of those went up later than what I actually did it, just because things happened. Other videos needed to go up because reasons. So today I'm going to be talking about how the laptop has been going. So this is my MSI Dominator Pro. Details will be in the description below. So I'm going to break this into two different bits: hardware, software. So hardware wise, delighted. Basically, it's been super fantastic. So runs extremely quietly, which is a big plus with a laptop, as obviously it's like close to you as opposed to being hidden under a desk or something. The screen quality, very good. I will preface that by saying I don't use it as my main screen. I actually have the laptop hooked up to a separate screen, which is what I use for the main screen for gaming, for working. I actually have the laptop propped up, and the screen sits beside the other one, so I'm like basically working with two screens, which is fantastic and a great way to use a laptop if your desk is big enough. If you look, there's a previous much earlier video of like the setup of how that works. I may even do another one. So hardware, great. Keyboard, the keyboard itself is really good to actually type on. However, I mean the laptop is like this thick, like we're talking 4 centimeters, so you know, what is that, inch and a half, something, I guess. So that means when you're typing, there's this big, huge line. Your hands are cranked up quite high. If you were going to use this to type regularly, you would need some sort of basically, you know, sort of thick band to sit in front of your wrist to actually support your wrist to make it at the same height as the laptop. It's not comfortable to type directly onto the laptop. On the other hand, I use a separate keyboard and mouse, not the actual laptop's keyboard and touchpad. So for me, it's not a problem. What else? Let's see. The positions of all of the cable points, excellent. The screen itself folds out to, well, actually it probably folds completely out from there. So I actually have it currently propped up at about, you know, that kind of angle, and it actually works really well. The PowerPoint, monitor cable and network card are all sort of at the back and sort of behind the monitor, and they're perfectly free. Easy access to those, no problem at all. So in general, hardware wise, lovely, very good. I have discovered 250 gig for an SSD for the C drive is surprisingly not enough. I was planning to have ESO, my primary game, installed on the SSD, but I didn't have enough space, and it was like I only had 20% free, so that got moved off. But anyway, apart from that, it's okay. Got a terabyte D drive, so there's more than enough space on the actual other drive, so that's okay. What else? Oh, love the NVIDIA 1070. Oh my gosh, it's so nice. I'm actually running all of my games at pretty much top graphical specs, and they look gorgeous. They looked fine before, but now they look schmick. Just stunning. So let's talk about software. So as an MSI branded laptop, it comes with a bunch of software from MSI. Some of it's a bit bloatware-ish, which I've uninstalled. There's a few MSI bits and pieces. Some of it's quite cool. You will have seen the previous video about the music software, whose name escaped me. Music Maker by Magic, I think that's called. Plus, not only does it have the cute little version that I was using, but it's also got the full version as well, that if you actually have MIDI keyboards and things, you can actually plug that in and start going with that, which is awesome. It came with the Way Too Fast private game network VPN, which I tried a few times, which is fine. Was there enough benefit for me to continue your subscription afterwards? Probably not. If I think I was playing first person shooters from Australia, it would be something I'd have to consider seriously if I was doing anyway professional, which I'm not. So, also comes with XSplit, which is an alternative to game casting, Twitch streaming software. I use OBS, which is free, open source broadcasting. So look, and it's fine. I make it work for me. It does everything I need it to do. It's all set up. So I don't think we'll switch. What else? Yes, the one thing I had problems with. So, there are, of course, multiple hardware drivers, as is required for all this custom hardware. The SteelSeries graphics keyboard, I've had no problem with. No problem with most of the others. No problem with the graphics driver, because of course that's NVIDIA, so that's fine. I have had problems with the Realtek sound card and with the MSI Dragon Center. So the sound card, it's not so much the card itself, but I think it's basically that I've had a few problems with the quality, which seems to be a consistent thing, that if you enable the sound effects, it basically makes the quality sound terrible. You might notice some videos that came after the actual unboxing of the laptop, and then for a week or two after that, quality is really bad. That's before I found the solution, which I may do a video for later. That'd be a good idea. The other problem that I had, which was quite specific, was running the laptop on battery in a number of applications that I use regularly, including the Music Maker and including the Movie Maker software. The sound would get this most annoying crackle through it. Once that crackle started, it kept reoccurring in other programs like just YouTube videos or whatever. Now I think that was because the power, when it's running on battery, obviously it's using lower power, including to the PCI bus. So basically the pathway through the computer there, the sound cards are connected onto, as well as a bunch of other things. Now, I adjusted that so that the PCI bus ran on full power all the time, even on battery. But what happened was the MSI Dragon Center control software, which is used to do overclocking, power controls, like a whole heap of centralized hardware management things, seem to basically constantly change the power profile that the computer was using. So it would never remember that I'd just gone in and set the PCI bus to use full power. And it would change every minute. There was like an event log full of minute changes of power configuration. It was running the latest version. It was running the latest version of all of the other drivers, software, the whole thing. I'd updated everything when I got it. There didn't seem to be any sort of help. There was nobody who'd reported this problem that I could find. So ultimately, and as I'm not overclocking at all, I just uninstalled the software. And everything has been fine ever since. So yeah, that's my one my one problem that I've had really. A few other fiddly bits that got themselves sorted, but yeah, and most of the other fiddly bits really did relate back to poor quality sound, either for the microphone or on playback. So, apart from that, outstanding. Really, really nice. Extremely pleased. No buyer's remorse. Not thinking that I could have got something else that I would have been more pleased with. Loving it. So, as I said before, description will have a link to exactly what the laptop is. If you have any comments, please do leave them in the comments below, which is where they go. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. That would be appreciated. And as always, do subscribe. And I will talk to you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.